you take China, it's already the third largest economy in the world. It has 1/6 of the world's population. It has $2 trillion of exchange reserves thanks to its trade surpluses. It is the second largest destination of R&D investment in the world, and has the third defense budget in the world after the US and Russia. So what this means is a tremendous shift of economic power to non-Western countries that will happen, that is happening now, that will continue to happen in the next decades. And what is worth noting is that this rebalancing of economic hierarchies is the product of globalization, as you were saying. That is, it is through the liberalization of international trade and investment, through the decision of India and China first, India 10 years later, to open their borders, that these countries finally took off. And that takeoff of massive importance is at the origin of this transfer of wealth to the East. So what we are seeing is that globalization is no longer purely an economic and social phenomenon. It's not only about job creations or job destruction. It is also the most significant transformative force of global geopolitics. And not only that, it is bringing back it is accompanied by a return of traditional geopolitics in the global economy. One of the principal vehicle for that comeback is the energy question. Energy is becoming a scarce resource. It is also limited by climate change considerations. But the economic takeoff of China and India in particular, and other countries as well, have created a huge demand for energy and other natural resources. And that has not only raised prices, but that is also prompting a competition between the consuming powers, the US, Europe, Japan, China, India, for these resources, and a return to what was called the Great Game in the 19th century, where colonial powers were actually fighting in Central Asia and other areas for energy and other raw materials. It happens that the region that has those resources are also sensitive, troubled areas where Islam is generally dominant, whether it's the Middle East, parts of Africa, or parts of Central Asia. So all this boils together and creates a much more tense global economy. So we're witnessing a return of power strategy of traditional geopolitics. And so main argument that the book is making on that, in that respect, is that contrary to the liberal view of commerce as a instrument of peace and harmony among nations, which remains true, of course, but the world we're entering into is, in fact, not so flat. It's not the flat world that Tom Friedman is advertising. It is much more complex than that. And globalization is producing as much conflict as it is producing harmony, as much fragmentation as it is producing homogenization.